evening, Tottenham fans. Not long now until we play Manchester United at home. You know, the dreaded home games, even though the last home game we played was absolutely exceptional. But in the league, it's not been great. It has not been great. But after that performance against Copenhagen, I've just got that little bit more confidence now, a little bit more belief that we can actually go to our ground, our home ground, and put in a decent performance. Now in today's video I want to talk about Kolo Muani and is he the answer for Spurs now after that great performance against Copenhagen. I want to talk about Pedro Porro and Mickey van der Ven as Tottenham are lining up new contracts for these two players. I want to talk about Odobert as well. Is he our best left winger now, not new? And is Van der Ven the solution for our left back cover? Or should we be playing him further upfield, maybe even left wing? If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I'm so close to hitting 4,000. I just need another 1,000. Then I will be there. So it's not that close. But thank you to everybody that's contributed to this channel so far. It's really appreciated. And let's get this channel growing and just hit that like button because it really does help and it really does get this seen to a lot more people. So let's get into the video. Kolo Muani, is he the answer for Spurs? Now we know we've got him on loan and we know that he's had a slow start to Spurs, mainly due to injury straight away, shock like everyone else. Everyone seems to get injured as soon as they walk through the door. But just lately, I've seen some really good things from Kolo Muani, and specifically in the Copenhagen game. Now, a lot of people will point to the caliber of team that he was playing against, but for me, you can only play against a team that's put in front of you, and it is a Champions League side. It's not a Europa League side this time, so it really baffles me. When we was in the Europa League and we was winning all those games, and people said, oh, it's easy to win that, there's no good teams in it. Let's just check that Chelsea Karabag score. Oh yeah, 2-2. They couldn't beat Karabag. So it wasn't as easy as people are making out. And now we're winning games in the Champions League. They're saying that those teams are too easy and you should be beating them. How many times do we have to win a game before someone says that was a good performance? It's crazy. But anyway, let's get back. I was going off on a tangent there. Kolo Muani played absolutely exceptional in that game other than his finishing. And Thomas Frank came out afterwards and said that he's still not match sharp yet. He's probably almost match fit, but not match sharp. Match sharp is completely different to match fit. Match fit means you can run around all day. Match sharp means you've got your touch back, your technical ability back, your finishing back. That's match sharp. And we could see he wasn't match sharp against Copenhagen, but the rest of his game was absolutely brilliant. His link-up plays with Xavi and Odobert and even Johnson at some stages as well. He was just a menace and he was such a handful for Copenhagen. He was always in space, always looking to run in behind. He's good at holding up the ball, very skillful player, and he's good in the box as well. So he's got, for me, he's got all the attributes of Solanke and Richarlison. So he's, for me, he is the answer at the moment. Whether we keep him, whether we sign him permanent is probably up to Muani more than anything, because if Muani bangs 10 to 15 goals now in the rest of the season, maybe his owners will want him back, but maybe Spurs will put an offer they can't refuse, so we have to see there. Also, I think he's ahead. I think this is the order I think it goes in. I think it's Muani, then Solanke when he's match sharp, then Richarlison, and then Scarlett. But I'm telling you now, if Scarlett gets more game time, that could change, and Richarlison can all of a sudden be fourth choice. And if he becomes fourth choice, especially in a World Cup year, I can see him moving in January. Now, if he moves in January and he moves to someone like Everton, he's going to get a lot of game time. Richarlison's something Everton actually really needs as well. So fingers crossed that happens, because if we get some money for Richarlison and we can put that money towards the Semenyo on the left hand side, that would be absolutely amazing. Now, Pedro Porro and Mickey van der Ven are looking to get new contracts at Spurs. Spurs are going to be offering new contracts to both these players. Why is that important? Well, because the club are showing ambition. I remember Harry Kane run down his contract till he had a year left, and then we had to sell him in the end. The same with Son Heung-min, and the same with many other players in recent history. And I think Spurs have now learnt from that, and they're tying down their top players, and they're making sure that they can't go on the cheap, or they just can't go on a free, which would be even worse. So Pedro Porro for me is an exceptional right back. Really, on his day, he's unplayable. And the balls he was putting in the Copenhagen game is unreal. He put that brilliant cross in for Richarlison, pinpoint in between two defenders for Richarlison to get his head on it and hit the crossbar. He's such a good player, and so is obviously Mickey van der Ven. He's only 24 years old, and he's just an amazing defender. So now, if you count Romero and Jed Spence into that as well, Spurs have tied up almost their back line completely. I think Udogie signed a new contract last season as well, so that's all of our back line secured, which is absolutely great business in my opinion, because you want to build on your best players. You don't want to let your best players go and then try and replace them with players that might be good enough to replace them. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you could buy the best right back in the world and he just might not adapt to the Premier League, or he might just not fit in. So if you know you've got some good players and you know that they will produce for you, sign them up to contracts. And that's exactly what Tottenham are doing, and I really like the ambition that they're showing. Now add to that. That's what they need to do. Add to these good players. So why is Odobert our best left winger? Well, most people will say because we haven't got a choice. But for me, I think Odobert has come on leaps and bounds. I think he's getting better and better week on week, game on game. We said this before, Thomas Frank has a really good CV of improving front players, and he's been doing it for years and selling these players for 50, 60, 70 million. And you can already see improvements in Odobert. His confidence. Do you remember that move against Copenhagen where he was doing 1-2s with Xavi, and then he'd done that little back flick to Xavi, and Xavi slid it across to Muani, and Muani just hit it wide. That was an exceptional passive move by them three, and he just seems to be really loving life at Spurs. He was linking up really, really well with Xavi and Muani, and Udogie, by the way, and he got his goal as well. He just seems to keep improving. He's getting more and more dangerous. He's obviously got the goal. He needs to get more goals and more assists for people to really start thinking he's the guy. But his ability and his technical ability, his effort, his work rate is second to none. He's very, very skillful. If he can work on getting past his man and getting assists and getting past his man and getting goals, then he can be an exceptional player. He's got so much potential, and I think Frank will get the best out of him. So I'm really happy with Odobert on that left-hand side at the moment. I'm really happy with Xavi in a 10, Kudos on the right, and Muani up front. It's starting to look like a really good front four. Now, they have to build on this, don't get me wrong, I'm not getting overexcited. They have to build on this against Man United. If them four put in a really good performance against Manchester United, then Manchester United are really going to struggle. They really will, because these four are all technically gifted and can cause damage to any opposition. Very, very good players. Now, is Van der Ven the solution to our left back? And what I mean by that is, we have Udogie, of course, but Udogie does get injured a lot, as does Van der Ven, to be fair. But if Udogie's missing, Van der Ven can slot in that left-hand side. I'm very, very happy with Danso and Romero being our centre-backs. And not only that, Dragushin and Takai are going to be back after the international break. So that's a lot of centre-backs we have at the club. So we could possibly put Van der Ven out on that left-hand side if Udogie's injured or absent for any reason. And that would give us a lot of pace on that side that Udogie's got, and we're not really lacking in that area then. Van der Ven obviously knows how to defend, and he knows how to attack. We saw what he did against Copenhagen when he went from one area to the other area in 9 seconds and scored a goal. It was absolutely brilliant. So put him somewhere where he can cause damage, and he will cause damage. He even said himself he used to be a striker, so that's insane. But can you imagine if you put Van der Ven at left wing, just to see what he can do? You never know what would happen. Imagine playing the long ball over to Van de Ven and he just runs past every single person. Who's going to keep up with him? There's not going to be many right backs that can keep up with Van de Ven and keep up with his physicality as well, because you're not easily just going to push him off the ball. And you know, the only obviously the massive issue we would have with that is his hamstrings. Would he be able to sprint up and down the pitch all the time with those hamstrings of his? We would only know if we tried it, but you know, is it a risk too much? Should we wait and just sign a left back? Because for me, Anthony Robinson from Fulham runs up and down that line all day long and gets assist after assist. Anthony Robinson is probably the perfect squad rotation for your doggy, in my opinion. But if we don't sign anybody in that left-hand side, Van de Ven would be absolutely perfect to play left back. He really would. Like I said, he's got all the attributes to play there, so why not? Why the hell not? And we've got a solid Danso as well and Romero, so we'd still be solid at the back, still would be. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought of today's video. Is Kolo Muani the answer? Are you happy with Pedro Porro and Mickey Van de Ven getting new contracts? Do you think Odobert is our best left winger? And is Van de Ven the solution on the left back role? Thank you for watching, and come on you Spurs.